Donna Schwartz here from the Everything Saxophone podcast. We're at the NAMM Show 2022. We're back. We're live. We're happy about it. And this podcast is sponsored by Legere Reeds. Now, I am here with the Rovner family. I'm here with George. Lynn is behind. Zachary is over here. You're going to see them all later. Okay, but I'm going to be talking with George first because there has been some amazing things that Rovner's come out with in the 2.5 years since I've seen you. It's been 2.5 years.
Yes, we've been at the design table.
Yes, you have. So can you talk about, I'm going to move this a little bit more this way. Yeah. We are really mobile folks here. So talk about these new mouthpieces here.
All right. Yes. May I hold that? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. So what we decided was we wanted to have something different, new art, to help the musicians. In live music, you're competing with drums, guitars, lots of loud things, and we wanted a saxophone that would create a saxophone sound to the audience, not just the upper partials, but the entire spectrum. And we did that with what we call the Avatar, using technology that we invented, and I can't tell you what it's about. Here's the Avatar. This is a tenor mouthpiece. It's a bit longer, and that actually helped with the intonation. It's very even scale, extremely powerful. Now, this is when you are competing with sounds and you want to be heard. Not just heard, but you want the voice of a saxophone to have presence. What we've done is we've created a new patented chamber, and it explodes the sound out, giving you an even scale. But whether you're playing very softly or very loud or anything in between, you're getting full spectrum saxophone sound. Avatar comes in baritone, tenor, and alto.
Can I ask, let me ask a question about that as we're holding this up for 1 second.
Yes.
So I'm here, folks. I'm just off on the side. Okay. So with this, it is extra long over here.
Yes.
Does that, cork length, anything like that? What if someone has a really short cork length? Would that have anything, any kind of impact? I don't know. I'm just asking.
No, actually not. Okay. So when I was developing this, I had to adjust the length so that when it was in a standard position for just about everyone, it would be in tune. So it doesn't matter if it's long or short. It will be usually where you put your normal mouthpiece, even though this is way long. So what you have to do is actually adjust your neck strap because it's a little longer. Okay. But it's going on in more or less the same position.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
And what people notice, because it's very strange, is that the scale is so even and the intonation just is wonderful, way up in the stratosphere as well.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to be very curious. I know we're going to have a demo in a few minutes, but I'm going to be very curious about that. And what's interesting, the tenor is very long. The alto
actually is long as well, and I'll show you.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Got it. Okay, yeah.
So this is the Avatar, which is the alto version. Also has that cool little baffle in there. All right, chamber. When you compare the size to the Aviva, you'll notice that it's longer as well. And that helped us to have it give all the power and be in tune, up and down.
Got it. Okay, so since you have the Aviva in your hands too, you're going to talk about that as well.
I will. So when you're in a more acoustical setting, we wanted to have that nice, lush, warmer sound, but still with presence. And here we did that with the Aviva. So it looks somewhat similar to other technology, but we have nuances that are built into it that give us that extra presence, and that's what it's all about. I recall when I first tried it out in a big band I was playing, and filled with old guys, and old guys, their hearing isn't so good, so they play very loud. I had been playing the Avatar and had no problem getting my voice out there. But I was playing second alto, and I put this on, and I played, and the first thing I noticed was I heard myself. Then the second tenor leans over and says, "Is that a new mouthpiece?" So we're talking about presence is what we're looking at. So it's not about whether it cuts or it has edge. It's that can you hear a saxophone and clarity. Both mouthpieces are about clarity. So they're very crystal clear. They're not coming with an artificial sound. You're the sound maker. We're giving you the tremendous support to be who your voice is.
Awesome, and it's all about efficiency. It's all about efficiency. It's all about efficiency, and it's about. I was talking with Legere yesterday too. It's about having the freedom to be able to express yourself, and you can't express yourself if you're always thinking about, am I going to squeak? Is my mouthpiece? Am I in tune? Do I have to always adjust for these particular notes?
Yes, and so basically our goal is to have the musician to be free, to be who they are. The mouthpiece is supporting wherever they wish to go with it. So we provide the core, you provide the character.
Some of us have a little bit too much character. But anyway, I'm not speaking about myself, no, but anyway, you know what? What about the tip openings? Are they the standard tip openings for both?
So the tip openings, we come with, on the tenor, 3 tip openings, a 6, a 7-star, and a 9. And we found that we don't need more than that because the nature of the mouthpiece is such that it's very forgiving for where you place the the reed, but it also has the ability to adjust the reed about 1/4 of an inch and get different properties.
That much?
In the highest position, it gives the most clarity and presence. When you lower it, it adds an element of lushness to it, but still having the presence. And it's also introducing a little more resistance. So depending on how you play or what you like to play, you can add resistance by lowering the reed. But the design is such that in the top position where you're way high on the mouthpiece, that you're able to breathe and have presence. So instead of blowing into it with a lot of resistance, you're relaxed. Your throat is open and you're able to play very soft, or you can give it a lot of stuff, but it's all coming from you.
Now, I'm curious though, a lot of people tend to play the 8, I don't, but a lot of people tend to play the 8 size. I'm curious as to why you skipped that. 6, 7-star, and 9. 7-star is close to an 8, I get it, but I'm curious as to why you skipped the 8.
This is new technology, so it's only a reference. So what we did was we referenced sizes that people could identify with to some degree. For instance, the number 9, I had a player that typically plays a 12, and I had an 8, and they could play that, but when I took it up to a 9, they could play that like it was comfortable then. So the ability is that you can go up or you can go down. It's a reference just to get you to begin the process of developing your relationship with it. So you can go up, you can go down.
Okay, and I know that, the Rovner website, RovnerProducts.com, by the way, is very helpful in terms of, information and stuff like that. You always contact them with regard to, what may be the proper size. If you're using a particular mouthpiece right now, what may be the proper size?
We do. We have dedicated support, and his name is Zach. Very helpful guy. And he seems to be available 24 hours a day. Sorry, Zach.
Awesome.
We do have live chat, and that's been most helpful. And folks can get to Zach that way or support at RovnerProducts.com.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to move this back just a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we've got the 2 mouthpieces over here. Oh wait, but we forgot this. You got to see this case. Look at this case that this comes in. If I had a drum roll.
Being innovative as we are, we come up with a case for your mouthpiece. There it is. Wait, it's flat. What goes on?
ID wallet?
Here we go. And now you have a beautiful, beautiful triangular case that you can fold. And there it is. Put it in your pocket.
That's really cool, because you know how many times people lose their mouthpiece caps and their cases? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what? I'm curious, and maybe you pull this out later. Typical mouthpiece cap for this?
Yes, it comes with a ligature and a cap, and the ligature we use is the Mark III. And we found that that is the best buy. It gives the most. And you're always welcome to go to Platinums or Versa X's, but this comes out playing great with a lot of volume, a lot of dynamic structure to it.
And would the Mark III be for both the Avatar and the Aviva?
Yes.
Okay, so
that's
here's
right.
the Mark III. Can you hold that up?
Right, so the Mark III.
I tried it.
It looks very close to the Versa X.
It looks a little bit like the Versa X and a little bit like the Van Gogh.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And so it has some of those properties of both. And it's just a great one to start with. You would never have to change, but you may want to explore using some of the other products if you're looking to dial things in for yourself.
And that one goes on top. The screw goes on top. This way people see that.
Yep, inverted position is what we say. And we do have another model that is in the prototype stage. That is our Aviva Soprano. Very, very cute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very, very cute. Like I said, it is prototype. So it will come out of the gate having a lot of presence and be easy playing.
Got it. So these mouthpieces are for more popular music. It's not obviously not classical music. This would be more for your big band settings. Or am I wrong?
Yes, indeed.
I am wrong.
In our unusual way of doing things, not following the rules or the boundaries.
That's why I like you.
What makes the Aviva unique is that the same mouthpiece can be used in a classical setting and a jazz setting. And it does that by tip opening. So for the classical oriented, we have a tip opening that's a 3.
Wow.
How can that play?
Yeah, I know.
Yet the beauty comes out, and it's way different, crystal clear. So it's not a covered sound, it's about clarity. When we go to a number 7, we have 3, 5, and 7. The 7 is flat out jazz. It's about opening up and just giving it a lot of nuances and dynamic things. When you go to a 5, it's very interesting because if you happen to play in both settings, the 5 does double duty. You can take the reed, make it a little stiffer, and it becomes more classically oriented. And if you make the reed a little less, now you get more of the jazz orientation to it. This is actually great for school bands, where they're in jazz band and they're in the concert band. So it can do both.
Probably marching band too, I'm thinking.
Now, it could be, but again, why do we have this one?
Yeah, okay.
The Avatar is actually, if you're dedicating a mouthpiece to marching band, this is it. Again, because when the woodwinds are out there, they're trying to give you as much as they can, and they could be overblowing. But when you blow on these things, you're getting full spectrum saxophone, and that is awesome. So it's a great one for a dedicated marching band piece.
Awesome. This is so cool.
Thank you for helping bring out all those things about it.
Oh, no, for sure. And, everybody has different needs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody plays in a lot of different situations. A lot of people are in big bands. The younger students, especially out here in California, Midwest, marching band's the thing. Texas, it's huge,
Yeah.
But I think we're very curious. We want to hear these.
Okay, so Zach's going to demonstrate on the Alto the Avatar. That's your cue.
Come on down, Zach. So this is Zachary Sprull. He works with Rovner. If you've seen those really awesome social media ads, that's him.
Yeah. He's the man behind the curtain. That
That was awesome. Okay, that was really cool. And Let me ask you something. Well, first of all, what mouthpiece do you normally play?
On Alto, actually, this one. This is the Avatar, the Rovner Avatar Alto.
What did you play before that?
8. I was very familiar with Jody Jazz mouthpieces before that. Played some Theowani pieces. So this actually got me to go from metal to hard rubber. And I've really enjoyed it ever since.
Okay, so then let me ask you this question. In comparison, or, I'm trying to get like what it feels like to play that compared to, let's say you probably played Myers before or rollover baffles before. Many people tend to play those. What would be the experience? What suggestions would you have for people in terms of they're trying this mouthpiece? Do they need to back off the breath support? Do they need to back off the jaw pressure? What do you think?
So what we like to tell people with this mouthpiece is focus less on blowing and more on breathing, because it's really accommodating of the individual. So I find that at first it's best to kind of dismiss all of those presuppositions that people have when it comes to trying out mouthpieces and not attack it like you normally would. Instead, come at it with kind of a clean slate perspective, ease into it, blow comfortably, start slow, and then give it some gas after that to really kind of figure out how it's going to respond to you individually, because it doesn't really respond like any other mouthpiece that I've played before. And it's really accommodating for almost any kind of playing style, whether it be calm, cool dinner jazz or horn band, amplified funk type of stuff. It really can kind of accommodate any style that you need it to.
Yeah, you actually just kind of did that before. You played nice sultry types of sounds, nice sultry kind of music, and then you pushed it. Then you put the gas on for sure. With this, how long do you think it would take somebody to get used to the mouthpiece?
I find that it's pretty accommodating, and it doesn't take people very long, provided they don't come at it like they always do for every other mouthpiece they've ever used, So if you kind of take a step back and let it be what it is for you, then I think you can get used to it relatively quickly.
And I see you've got a fiber reed on there.
I do.
And what size Alto Avatar?
This is the 8. So I like the bigger tip. A lot of people like the smaller. It just depends on you, but... Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay, cool. So, and have you played the tenor version also? I know you don't have the tenor with you right now, but okay. What size do you play? What tip only do you play on the tenor?
The 7-star is the most comfortable for me, and I'm finding that the more people try them, the more people are kind of leaning that direction too, probably. So, but yeah, we've got the 6, the 7-star, and the 9 on the tenor. So,
the 7-star. Is that a 105 tip opening?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. And the Alto. Again, this is the Alto 8. What's the tip opening on that?
Let me just confirm that for you before I put...
Sorry, you had to put you on the spot.
You're good. The 8 on the Alto is an 88 tip opening.
Okay, so an 88 tip opening on the Alto. Awesome. Yeah, no, first of all, you sound great.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
No, you do. And just the ease, right, from going to like really soft. Going from really soft to, really pushing the gas and stuff like that, you feel it's just the efficiency. You don't have to, it's not as much work as maybe past mouthpieces.
Right, yeah, and it's nice because I play all types of different gigs. It could be playing solo for a dinner, or it could be playing in a wedding band, playing top 40 stuff, and it does all of the things I needed to do without having to change mouthpieces, which is really nice.
Yes, and it saves you money. Definitely saves you money. And do you use the same reed?
I do.
Okay.
I do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Have you ever experimented with what George was talking about, but put in the reed higher or lower?
I have, yeah, and actually I can show you. I like it pretty much flush to the top, okay, where the corners of the reed barely peak above the mouthpiece. But if I take this and I lower it down, and I'll see if we can, so you can see a little bit more mouthpiece above there, you'll find that it darkens up the tone quite a bit.
Right, smoky.
Smoky. Yeah.
Smoky sound for sure.
So how many mouthpieces actually change the characteristics by changing the reed height? Again, most unusual.
Yeah, that's true. Can you say that again, George?
That what the mouthpiece does is it gives you another level of changing the properties by lowering the reed. Again, much lower than you typically could even play in a typical mouthpiece. So.
You know what's interesting about this? This reminds me a lot of the Van Gogh ligature.
Yeah.
You know, with the screw, whether you screw it all the way tight or.
Tensioning can change the characteristics of it.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me how this is coming full circle here when you think about it, right? Between the screw tension and now like the reed height on the mouthpiece.
Right. That's right. So again, we don't follow the rules.
You make your own rules.
Yeah.
So now if I take the reed and I put it just slightly above the tip of that mouthpiece there.
Okay, cool. And
much more presence, brighter, a little bit more in your face.
yeah, that sounded really good. That actually sounded really good. That sounded amazing. Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Zach, for showing that off. I think that's going to really help people get an idea of what these mouthpieces sound like. So now we have some other stuff to show, don't we?
Yes. Let's go this way.
Let's take a walk. And by the way, while we're taking the walk, I got to do this because Lynn Reeder does an amazing job with, I got to just get this whole spread, right? So she just like knocks it out of the park with the spread for the booth. I can't even dress my sandwich up very well. And she just makes this like totally awesome. All right, cool. Now we're going to get over here to the elegant display. And
yes, clearly elegant.
all right, here we go, right over here. Talk to us about this.
So what happened a couple of years ago, Lynn and I wanted to design a display system for saxophones that would fit every size saxophone. You didn't need a different stand to display it. One stand would accommodate all. And that the goal was that you're not looking at the back end of the saxophone, you're looking at the beauty of the front, the key work, the way the bell is shaped. So we came up with clearly elegant, because the stand disappears once you put the saxophone on. Now, this is not designed to be on stage, but whether it's in your home or you're a dealer or a museum or a photographer where you're photographing, it makes it so easy to stand it up correctly, and then it becomes invisible to stand. Clearly elegant. This is an Alto, comes off, and you can adjust this for any size from a fully curved sopranino, that big, to a baritone saxophone. Shazam. This is an extension that's part of this system. The system is all modular, so the same component works wherever. Pack it up flat, and you're good to go. So you only need one stand, and any size saxophone you have, you'll never bring the wrong stand to the gig, as I have in the past.
No, got it. And with this, so it's not only, here's the thing though, you don't only just put one saxophone on this. A lot of people use this in their studio. And they put 1, 2, even 3 saxophones on the stand, right?
Yes, now in different versions. So we have 3 versions. We have the soloist, which is what you see here. And in the prototyping stage, I call that the amoeba. We have this one here, and we don't have all the components because we left them at home. But this one stand that started out as the flower petal is the triad, and you can fit a soprano, an alto, and a tenor all on one stand. When we come over here, we'll go to the trio. Now we're at the Rovner booth, and you'll see that 3 saxophones on one stand, all beautifully displayed in a nice, elegant arc. It's only 14 inches deep, so it could fit on a shelf. So you get a lot of use out of these, whether you're displaying or it's in your home. And again, beautifully displayed. It latches so it can't come undone.
Okay, that was my question to you because here's the thing. I live in California right now, and there's earthquake. There's earthquake issues, let's say. So how safe is this for someone like me? Let's say I wanted to put this on a dresser, right? A dresser that could accommodate the size of this.
No problem. And it's designed for klutzes.
Wait a minute. He's calling me a klutz on the air. No,
I'm not. You assumed that one.
no, I didn't. I said earthquakes. No, it's awesome.
But you can also display in an interesting way, and we like that part of it. So typically you'll see the straight soprano there, but you could have it be in a different position. You can give it movement. So it has a lot of unique ways to display.
Show that. Okay, great. Now, also curved soprano too, right?
Yes, fully curved. And look at this. So another version where you have a fully curved soprano, and it adjusts immediately to fit any size. If you look over there, you'll see the baritone on one of the stands. And that was an earlier iteration, but you see, it's just unbelievable to see a baritone in person right there, how beautiful they are.
Right. And that high up, too.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's walk over there. Let's walk over there. You're taking a tour of NAMM with us. Sorry for the shaky camera. And we're at the Rovner. That's right, our Italian friends.
So look at a baritone like that. You've never seen it displayed that way. Normally, you have to be careful as you approach it because the legs splay out so far. No trip hazards here.
No.
Just beauty, the beauty of the saxophones.
Yeah, that looks awesome. That looks totally awesome.
Yeah. So that's our clearly elegant display stand system.
Listen, George, I want to thank you so much. Even though we ended up on the Ramponi Kazani, that's awesome, though. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you all very, very much.